Well, I think it's great that CropLife America is bringing people from all across the country to talk about the issues that are going to affect people all across America. And I really do think that it's absolutely important that people in the pesticide industry and other industries that serve farmers pay close attention to what's happening here and work to educate people both in Washington and back at home as well. America has the safest, most affordable, most abundant food supply in the world, and it's because we use modern technology to accomplish that. We've got to protect the right of our farmers to use the most advanced technology. Make sure it's safe, make sure it works. Once you're sure of that, let them go. You do that, they're going to produce food for the world.
In order to feed the population in 2050, we're going to have to use fertilizer and chemical treatments, and we're going to have to use genetically modified, but we'll do it in a safe way that's more effective and is environmentally more sustainable than other practices.
Finally, if your grandfather was still with us, what would he say about a discussion about this? And if he had a chance to be here, what would he say about being here?
I think he'd think this is great and really positive, and I think he'd be glad that the industry is coming together as a whole and becoming more aggressive and more proactive in the messaging about what we're doing and why we're doing it and why it's safe and the benefits not only to the U.S. but internationally.
Lauren, as you look at the discussion today talking about modern agriculture, do you see a lot of similarities from what's going on in the United States than from what you guys see in Canada?
I think what's been notable about this conference is that it's brought together some parties that we don't normally get together in the same room, and with some very divergent views. And I think that's very healthy and very good for the industry to understand and hear what some others are saying who have an interest in this.
I thought the conference was excellent. It was a great dialogue from people in agricultural production to NGOs, government representatives, in having a great dialogue on how we're going to meet the food and fiber needs of 40 years from now when we're growing our population by 25 to 50%. And it was an exceptional dialogue to come up with policy ideas and ways to communicate to reach that goal.
Well, I thought we had a really good, varied approach to this with the different panelists. We had people talking about the need for modern agriculture. We had people talking about the steps we need to do to protect modern agriculture, and we had some difference of opinions. And so I think the chairman of CropLife summed it up well when he said we're seeking understanding, not conformity.
I thought it was great. I thought it brought up some really key issues for the development of agricultural policy, existing agricultural policy, raised a lot of questions, left a lot of things open in terms of answers to those questions, but I think that's what it was intended to do.
This was a terrific event and a great idea that CropLife put this event together. It's really taken a leadership role here in agriculture to get some of these really important issues out and bring really a diversity of stakeholders together to talk about the issues and get these this important dialogue going.
I think it was really a great step to getting the message out about how to communicate where we're going today in agriculture and the technology and innovation that's going into the products that are being supplied to America's farmers. This isn't a static technology or a static industry. Farmers are adopters, and they want the latest and greatest to help them produce the crops that they produce.
Well, I want to commend CropLife for bringing together lots of different viewpoints, and sometimes when you go to conferences like this, you hear pretty much one viewpoint, and I think having listened to and heard various viewpoints from different groups helps maybe frame the issue. And so you kind of know, when we think about agriculture one way and realize that, not all people think like that. And so helping know and understand some of those viewpoints, I think will help us make progress in terms of how do we build more consensus around what do we need to do and what our agricultural systems need to look like to feed a growing population around the world.
Oh, it would absolutely very helpful to all of us that were present here today. Certainly, I've spent my entire life in agriculture, and to not recognize the change that is going on in America and in the world, and not be challenged by some folks that have a little different view than I might have. I think the American people today hear a lot of messages about agriculture and what we're doing and not doing. The question is, how do we be brilliant? And that's why it's so important for organizations like CropLife to reach out and tell the story to those willing to listen. And you'll find out there's a lot of people we think that are not willing to listen that really are. And if you get that kind of dialogue and debate going on, then certainly Senator Lincoln and Congressman Goodlatte, who were here, they will appreciate that, because it will give our political leaders more and better ammunition to use in fighting for us in the Congress of the United States.